What's up, everybody? You are now tuned into the Doggie Diamonds Live Show with co-host Uncle Tad, Koku, Karma Kane. Music provided by DJ Big M. And I am your host, Doggie Diamonds.
It doesn't cost much. You think, with our youth group, we started in the barbershop to a community center. We didn't pay anything for the barbershop. We never paid rent for the community center. It doesn't cost anything to organize and help people out. He got more than 100 racks. You think what you can do with 10 racks in the hood to help young people? You can buy computers. You can build a little local studio and be like,
but as you know, it has to be sanctioned. Because anything to uplift and empower black people is threatening and always called racism and hate. Anything that's going to empower black people is very, very threatening to non-black people and even black people.
Why is that? Because
we are, watch Goodbye Uncle Tom.
Word.
Say goodbye Uncle Tom. You know, I mean, the deal is that, you know, once you see certain shit, you can't unsee it. It's not meant for us to know the truth.
Yeah.
And like I said recently.
But we know the truth because we're living it.
No, we know, but some of us know the truth, but some of us are still playing devil's advocate. And all I say to people is that, why do you want to advocate for the devil? You know what I'm saying? And once you realize and you can recognize and identify with who the devil is, then you'll be okay. But the problem is, it's always the deflection of people saying, but what about us? What about how we kill each other? What about how we do this? What about black on black crime? And the funny shit about that is when people bring up these arguments, that's supposed to justify everything that everybody else do to us.
Right.
That's not justification for what other people do for you. Because if you in the house fucking and you spank your kids for being disobedient, somebody else can't say, well, I beat your kids because you beat them too. You know what I'm saying? This is my fucking children. You know, what go on in the black communities are due to the system of white supremacy. And people say stop blaming that shit. But y'all really need to do y'all homework and educate yourself. Because when Chinese people are killing each other in their neighborhoods, you don't hear Chinese on Chinese crime.
No, you don't.
Watch the ID channel for a day. That's fucking white on white crime.
Word. They have some
They do the, yeah, they be on some other shit. They'll kill a whole family, poisoning the motherfuckers.
Yeah, they big on poisoning.
Yeah,
especially their kids.
Yeah, they love that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Drown them.
Yeah, motherfuckers been drinking fucking antifreeze for 6 years and shit and didn't even know it. But this is what I'm saying. Black on black crime was a term that was made up to make us deflect on what other people was doing to us, to just say, yo, we doing it to ourselves. No, we're not doing it to ourselves. Because there's no such thing as black on black crime. There's a such thing as crime.
And you know what's funny? Because even when you take it back to roots, I think everybody's most memorable scene is when Kunta Kinte was getting beat.
Yeah.
But who was beating him?
Exactly.
And who told dude to beat him? See, we really don't get it on how we was rewarded for going against one another, and we was disciplined for sticking together. And people don't get it that I don't think people understand what slavery really was. It wasn't just working for free. It was working till your muscles actually detached from your bones and you fell out. And then they just cart you off, feed you to animals, and then grab somebody else and do the same thing. It was people raping your mother in front of you and daring you or your father to say anything. It was people feeding your babies to alligators just to catch out. I don't think people know what slavery was. Slavery was written in the Constitution. Slavery was law. Slavery was the order of the day. Slavery was written in the DSM manuals. One of the first illnesses they recorded was called drapetomania. That meant if you wanted to be free, something was mentally wrong with you.
Wow.
And they would beat you until you wanted to be a slave. You see how sick and psychotic those people were? So what do you think gonna happen when you crazy and you raising people to be crazy?
But and what you're saying is 100. But these are the people who keep trying to tell you who the fuck your enemy is.
Right.
They keep trying to tell you that your people is your enemy, And your people believe that, and we believe that about one another. And that's why they came up with the term black on black crime. What did Delight say? Black on black crime is way before our time.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? They were sending dudes out to catch dudes. They were sending dudes when the slaves ran away because they couldn't catch us. They would send their own people. Who was some of the overseers? Look at the movie Life.
Right. Well, and when we talk black on black crime, it was the dude who started the census, one of the first census. His name was Frederick Hoffman, and he was recording these things because it was a whole movement, and he was saying that crime was prevalent in our communities because we're savages. Mind you, that we didn't have no jobs in no communities. Remember, it was illegal for us to do much of anything. But then you had the sociologist named Francis Blackmore, who said because of black people being imbeciles and their lack of education, he said that we need them to take care of us. He said we are our own worst enemies. Now, when black people talk that black on black crime stuff, they don't realize they're echoing the sentiments of racists from the 1800s. I keep telling people slavery was legal. Jim Crow was the law. Segregation was legal. All of them things that was put in place to keep us down was the law. Even their miseducation of us. So how dare people come in this millennium, the Gregorian calendar of 2016, and still echo the sentiments of old school ass racists who, if we were back in their days, they'd have hung us from light poles and beat us in front of our family.
But what I was trying to understand is that how come whenever you say anything to uplift black people, if Coco say something to uplift black people, if Imp say something to uplift black people, you don't got to be anti-nobody. Right. Because that's the thing, too. If you say something pro-black, you're anti-something. No. It don't have nothing to do with anybody else. It's just saying, I love black women. And somebody will say, I like white bitches, too. What that got to do with anything? You understand what I'm saying? What that got to do with anything?
What that got to do with anything?
Because they kiss dogs.
But my whole shit
in the mouth.
My whole shit is you don't have to be, just because you pro something, that don't mean you anti anything. You know what I'm saying? And when you do what you do, it's always black people that argue you the most.
It's the Willie Lynch syndrome. I don't think we really understand how deep and prevalent it goes.
They'll say Willie Lynch did, that never existed.
That's all right, but the mentality
the ideology
does.
exists.
White supremacy is not real, but we see it permeate.
Jim Crow ain't real.
That's right. Jim Crow was a fake character created by Thomas Dartmouth Rice. See, this is what I try to explain to people about media, and this is the importance of Doggie Diamond's TV platform, because we're really trying to educate you, because we are entertainment, we are media. Most people don't understand that Jim Crow was a fictitious character created by this dude named Thomas Dartmouth Rice that was in the newspaper. Then when they was doing them vaudeville and blackface shows, they decided to paint their face black and created this character they brought him to life called Jumpin' Jim Crow. Okay. That was one of the first blackface characters. White people believe that so much that they created laws say, yeah, all black people are just like him. Imagine if they had a Scooby-Doo law. Say, yeah, black people are just like Scooby-Doo. Yeah, we're going to make the Scooby-Doo law.
Wow.
So we all will agree that black on black crime
is bullshit.
Is a myth. Yes. So, all right, so let's deal with this for a minute. When people argument is, but what about what they're doing in Chicago?
Do they know that police are leaving guns on Chicago? First of all, we could go, because see, people always think it's theoretical till the white man said, right? Just with the Nixon thing, right? All right, but many people don't know that police officers are taking guns and leaving them on the trains in Chicago for young teenagers to get them. If you see some of them guns, those are military issue guns. Those guns cost $5,000 and $10,000. Them kids ain't got that kind of money. Word. Part one, but part two, if you want to hear the white man say it, just look up Operation Fast and Furious, where it shows the government were giving guns to the Mexican drug cartels just so they could lock them up for having illegal guns. Mm-hmm. That's called entrapment if you know anything about the law. But again, if the government didn't sell these Mexican cartels the guns, the Mexican cartels will not have the guns. And that's the same way the guns get in our hands. We don't have no factories.
They said that in L.A. the trains used to come by and leave guns.
The trains, But that's facts of the matter. Remember, when we were children, when me and you were young, we had guns.
Yeah, we had guns. Yeah, because we ain't got no more guns, 88 precinct.
Nah, we not no more. But when we were children, when we were children, they was easy and accessible. We got them before we was even looking for jobs.
Yeah, except for
we
30,
wasn't even old enough to work.
except for 32 bullets. The shit's still hard to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You know what I'm
but
saying?
no, but the realest shit, because this is the arguments that I get for people. And the funniest shit is that I was asking, I said, damn, why y'all hate me and I speak up for y'all? Nobody else with a platform speaks up for y'all. Nobody else with a platform speaks up for the rights and the liberation of black people from a hip hop point.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that. Everybody's pussyfooting and doing it, but they're doing it for the benefit of people who are raping and robbing our culture.
Nah, they on the We Are the World shit now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Everybody want to sing, because I said something the other day that I don't care about All Lives Matter. Motherfuckers got mad at me, but to
All lives are Black lives.
I said I don't care about All Lives Matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter too, because Black Lives Matter is funded by somebody that I don't
And it's
fuck
a
with.
homosexual movement.
That-
by
look.
their own words.
Look, that and All Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody life does matter, right? But it shouldn't be a movement called All Lives Matter to counteract the Black Lives Matter.
It
That's the
minimizes
point that I'm making.
Yeah, that's why they came up with that.
That's the point I'm making.
Yeah, like,
So if you're pro-black, you're anti-white. No, just like if somebody is pro-white. Yo, I agree with the KKK. Well, how they feel about their race and their people.
that's their pride.
It's
yeah.
just that when they say shit about us, it's not factual. That's where I
Right.
disagree. But how you feel about you and how you feel about how this country was white and, you know, the niggers and, you know,
Why you said the white?
because that's how they say that shit.
The white.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the white.
Yo, you got a right to feel
White
like
people
Yeah,
like that?
exactly.
Oh.
Listen, you got a
Whites.
right to feel like that. That does not bother me. It's
Yeah.
just that you cannot have an opinion that's not based off of facts.
Okay.
Because your opinion is how you feel, but it's not factual. See, how I feel and what I got to say is based off of facts that was written by you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Your forefathers wrote this shit. Your forefathers did this shit. So I'm supposed to be like, yo, today's Washington's birthday when he was a fucking slave master and a slave owner.
Yes.
But when you want to chastise people for what they did to us, the first thing you want to tell you is about what you did to you or what your people did to you. What the fuck does that have to do about what you did to me? Because I don't have Stockholm Syndrome.
At all.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't have Stockholm Syndrome. I don't love my captors, and I don't love the people who did fucked up shit to me. Because you still continuing to do fucked up shit. See, we believe, black people today believe that being that we're able to stand next to somebody and laugh and joke and fuck on a pussy and do certain shit with them, that we are now equivalent to them in stature. But what we don't understand is that you are still impoverished and they still reap all the benefits from what they did to you 1,000 fucking years ago. It's passed down. It's passed down. And the trauma, the pain, and the poverty is passed down. Right now, the average black person, if he's fucking 35 years old and he suddenly passes away, he has nothing to leave to his children. And you going to work now and they're telling you got to have 10 years experience and you only fucking 20 years old. Where you supposed to work at? Look what they're telling you. You got to have experience in this field in order to get the job, but you're a fucking kid.
Yeah.
So you go to school for political science, which means political science is either some type of law enforcement or some type of law or some type of politics.
Yeah.
But you're the head buyer at Target? And you went to fucking school for 4 years and you owe the government all this fucking money for student loans and all this shit? And that they're gonna take from you. But you're not even the head buyer at Target. You're the fucking cashier. So why do you have a degree in political science if you cannot get a job in the field that you went to school for?
Well, it ain't what you know, it's who you know.
But even who you know, we live in a blackball society. We
Yeah.
live in a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if you're not doing something fucking irrational, people don't look out for you. That's just the reality
I
of
was
it.
just about to say that something compromising to your
This is what I'm saying.
integrity.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yo, let me stick this fucking pool stick up your nose for a little
Something-
while
something.
and touch your brain just to say I did it and I got something over you. If you look at today's society, it's all about having something over somebody. It's all
Leverage.
about, it's all about what about you? And that's the point I'm making with accountability and responsibility. Right now, if I said, I ain't fucking feeling you, I don't like the way you XYZ, that's in the third, You can't say, well, what about you? Because that has nothing to do with my feelings for you. If you had those feelings for me, you should have brought that out prior to me saying anything to you. Don't try to come back at me because I'm coming at you. Think about a relationship with a woman. When you in a relationship and you sit your woman down and you air your grievances, first thing she want to do is throw back what she don't like about you. What the fuck that got to do with anything?
All the motherfucking time.
Right? That has nothing to do with why we're arguing. We're arguing because you did something to piss me off.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's the same thing.
Deter that energy.
It's the same thing. Yo, they did this and that. They do this to us. But what about what we do to each other? Motherfucker, I ain't do shit to you. I'm here trying to tell you that you're great. And everybody wasn't no fucking king and queen. So we could stop that too. But you damn sure wasn't no peasant. And you damn sure wasn't mistreated. And you damn sure wasn't beaten, raped, robbed, and stolen. You understand what I'm saying? So stop saying, good morning, kings, and you a king, and you come from king. Because everybody wasn't no fucking king.
Yes.
But you wasn't mistreated. You understand what I'm saying? So every time when I say something that's uplifting, you got one motherfucker, and I'm saying y'all agents. And the thing that I don't like is that y'all letting these people come in the comments and stir shit up, and y'all sitting back watching it. Y'all not even chastising motherfuckers for fucking up our good cipher. Because if I come, I just put something out the other day and I said, salute, black people are waking up. Because I really feel like that. I feel like the consciousness is going up. We got a long way to go. But due to social network, social media, it is a lot more people noticing and seeing more things. People that were very ignorant to shit are starting to question shit now. Yeah. And that's all I want. It ain't about whether you know. I just want to create the dialogue for you to learn, because it starts with dialogue. It starts with talking. It starts with questioning things, and then you start seeking the answers. Right. It's not, I can't teach you everything because I don't know everything. I'm still learning. But if I could have you go on the journey with me, and you might be 4 steps behind me, but you at least going in the right direction, and you might even pass me. Yeah. And say to me, you understand what I'm saying? Because when I was reading and knowing shit, Tab was still a fucking knucklehead.
I was in the streets.
Now it's shit that he know that I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't sit here and argue with him and debate with him. When he say things, I listen and I jot it down, make mental notes, and look for my references and say, yeah, he was right about this, that, and the third. That's what this shit is about.
You know I ain't gonna lie to him.
But it starts for what? Dialogue.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I'm not here to shoot you down. Oh, this nigga fucking think he know everything. But what about the time fool tried to choke me in smoke backyard? You know what I'm saying? like that's what people do to you.
Right. But you know, and it's the truth, because what I'm noticing now is people don't do the research themselves. People go to quote unquote experts and get their information from them, and they don't realize people are working in the benefits of our enemies, in the best interest of our enemies.
Exactly.
Because the question I always ask people, what's the end goal for black people? Is it separation and integration? And that alone is going to determine whether I could work with you or not. Because if you're trying to integrate with people, I really can't rock with you. But if you're trying to separate, then we could rock together. When I say separate, I'm not talking about like we go off in a foreign land,
build a
buy
fence
an
and
island.
shit.
No,
yeah.
I'm talking about when we separate, just like the Jewish people do in Williamsburg. We see them, they walk right amongst us, but do they spend in our stores?
No.
Nope.
No.
Do they sell to us?
No.
Nope. Do they exploit us? Yes.
Everything.
Koreans, go to Flushing, Queens.
Yes.
You'll see skyscrapers with Korean writing on it. Are they separate from us? Of course. Are they away from us? Can we not mix and mingle with them? We can be in their area, but when it comes to business, they're separate. Same as the Chinese.
Let me interject right here.
I'm going to wrap this up real quick, because we're the only ones who don't get it, that when we say separate, we're talking about the same thing that Dr. King just got murdered for 48 years ago. 2 days ago, 48 years ago.
Group economics.
Exactly. Dr. King told Harry Belafonte in a letter he wrote him, he said, I'm afraid I integrated my people into a burning house. Dr. King was about that money and changing laws. Dr. King realized that once we integrated, our money left the community. So when I say separate, I'm talking about let's separate from their ideology.
Yeah.
At least let's stop saying Jesus Christ and God is white. Could we at least do that? When we say separate, we talking about let's make sure that we spend with black businesses before we take our money to stand online downtown and give them away for a bum-ass pair of Jordans.
Yeah. And look, and the point that I want to make is that black on black crime, reason why it's a myth, because every other nationality, every other community has got government funding but us. We don't get shit.
Nope. Welfare ain't it.
Yeah, and there's more of them on welfare than it is us. So stop that. We could already kill that myth. You know what I'm saying? But they get funding because they'll have a Korean councilman.
But this is how they freak it too. Because even with Hillary running, see this
She's a fuck nigga.
This is where Lyndon B. Johnson got real slick. This where he got real slick. Remember, Kennedy was supposed to sign the Civil Rights Act, but Kennedy got murdered. So Lyndon B. Johnson ended up signing it. But what Lyndon B. Johnson did, what he told Dr. King was, yo, I'm going to sign this, but you have to include all minorities. You got to include Puerto Ricans, Chinese, Asians, midgets, humpbacks, as Dr. Court like to say.
Yeah.
But here's where Lyndon Johnson got real tricky. He said, and white women. Mm-hmm. Now white women all of a sudden a minority, but they always benefited from the oppression that white men oppose on everybody else. Because whatever they steal, they take home to their white wife and their children. So how are white women disenfranchised? And that's how they keep the resource among themselves, because they say, yo, we got to get this money to a minority group, but we can't take it. We don't want to give it to the Negroes. Baby, go apply for this.
Exactly.
Give it to your wife. She brings
That's
the money
why so
home
many
regardless.
Jewish women down at the welfare.
Yo, this game is
It's the same thing as the
deep, and we don't
$5
get it.
Indian.
Word. Look, Hillary Clinton was here, a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
At Mega Evers?
Yeah.
And Negroes was there.
Look, but